Hello, welcome to my so-called life. Hello, welcome in. How's it going? My name is William, and this is my so-called life. I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. If not, I'm going to be here waffling for the next hour or two. Yay! Rah, rah, sewing machine. That guy really knows how to sew. Rah, rah, sewing machine. He buys himself hundreds of sewing machine. Who really knows where they all go? Oh, all night I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head. How's it going? Welcome to the House of Sewing. We sing crazy songs. Tonight I'm gonna be making Jncos. As always, I'm drinking tons of coffee and I'm loving life. You know, I'm in my weird sewing in front of my fountain tranquil era. We'll see how long that goes. But seriously, I hope everyone's doing well. If anyone wants to join, let me know. If not, I am going to be making some Jncos this evening. I have all my pans ready. I have everything ready to go. I'm going to give myself a second before I jump into it because I have a really unorthodox way of making Jncos. I've been filming myself and I'm doing a tutorial, but I feel like I'm going to have to do a couple of tutorials about how to make pants in general because there's many different ways and I love the complicated way. As you can tell, it is hot here in the House of Sewing. It looks like your eagle friend is trying to hide, but doing a bad. You know what? I've been cleaning in here. I've been really cleaning in here, and I found my Christmas hat. Oh, and it was good memories of when I made a Christmas hat for my giant eagle. Good old eagle head. You know what's funny? After all these years, it makes me laugh that you're still eagle phobic. How's it going? Hey, good day. Lurking over there. Oh, lurking over by Master Chief. Master Chief protects this room and he is rare. And every time someone sees it, they offer me money for it. Do you know what's funny? Out of all the stuff that I've collected in this room, Master Chief came from a video game store that doesn't exist anymore. And they were never sold. Somehow that ended up in my shop. And I fought with my boss for years and years. And my boss was like, this is the mascot of the shop. And the second I took over, I took that thing home. But before I get to any of the shenanigans, this program, let's try that again. It's hot and muggy in here. This program is for entertainment purposes, and its content is not intended to malign any religion, lack thereof, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by my so-called life and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the opinions of every single human being on planet Earth. Yay! Yeah, Master Chief is actually rare. I have a lot of oddities, a lot of crazy stuff in this room, but Master Chief is rare. Got to 105 here today. Hey, if I'm showing arms, you know it was well into the 90s. It's really funny how it was perfect. It was 60 to 70 every single day. I was putting my long sleeves on again. But I knew it wouldn't last. I knew that summer would eventually take over. Awesome. But where are the emergency exits? Dear God, where are they? And if you're having a bad day, if you need an Activia, I prefer a Pepsi and 2 tacos from Jack in the Box. But here in the House of Sewing, we have exits on both sides. That's a izquierda and derecha. I hope everybody has a fun evening flying my so-called life airlines. And if I keep on saying that, I'm going to make a hat. I'm going to make a my so-called life airline hat. I need a copy of that disclaimer so I can reverse it and make a claimer. I love that. The views and opinions are to offend, and I am speaking for everyone. I'm gonna tell you, I noticed my superpower to like, I don't know, I just disclaimer was needed. A disclaimer was needed. And I feel like sometimes in life we should all come with disclaimers. I'm gonna stop myself right there. Oh, do you know, I want to talk about something before I start sewing. There are certain type of people on the internet, people who constantly tag peaceful, living life, happy life. Let's be real. They are not living a happy life. They're not happy with themselves. Would that still be a disclaimer? Or would that just be a claim? Ah, that is Hogan, isn't it? Oh, I'll get into that in a second because this shirt is extremely hilarious. My whole point is, I constantly say online, "Oh, this is easy. This is easy." If I say that, I have at least 20 years experience. Anybody who says like, "Oh, peace and love on the internet is the most warmongering human that you've ever come across." So remember that. And I love misprints. I love odd shirts, and I go to all kinds of thrift stores. And there's a thrift store in the San Fernando Valley in beautiful Los Angeles that people dump their misprints on it. Companies, anything that you could think of. It has odd collars. It's a store that I absolutely love. They have really odd hours, so I don't go there as much. But when I stand up, I want you to see Hulk does not look, his head is 3 times larger than it should be. This is an old school misprint. And it's the little details on things that get shirts sold. But this was sold in a thrift store, and there were hundreds of them. Part of me wishes I should have bought more. But Hulk Hogan's head is humongous on this shirt. But I own quite a few misprint shirts. I love misprints. And I always buy the long sleeve misprints where one sleeve is longer than the other because I just cut the sleeves off and then I have a beautiful shirt. So don't always wag your finger at those misprints. He does look like he lost weight. Oh, it's definitely like I said, I love misprints. I love where everything's upside down, where the machine just was not cooperating that day. So I collect all kinds of crazy stuff. I've really been cleaning out my closet. If you're seeing the Hulk cutoff, I've really found the bottom of my closet. Speaking of which, let's make some Jncos. Put it in the title. We might as well just get to it. Ooh. So I have an extremely complicated way of making Jnco jeans. I'm gonna switch my camera, and if my camera gives out, I have my backup and everything. But after last week's debacle, I do not trust my computer, and it probably needs an update. And whenever Apple needs an update, everything goes wonky, and they do it on purpose too. It's a terrible way to let me know that I need to update. By the way. All right. So I have pins going in both directions on this particular pair of pants. So if you hear me like or jumping, it's because this thing is stabbing me every time I grab it. But it's the only way I know how to make extremely accurate Jnco jeans. What does Jnco stand for? You know what? Let's do some Google foo. Let's do some Google foo and find that out right now. Actually, no, because oh come on. What? Oh. What does Jnco stand for? Jnco stands for judge none, choose one. You know what? We need to write that down. We actually learned something here in the House of Sewing. Hey, Kilroy! Great to see you. Great to see you. Hello, hello. Jnco means judge none, choose one. Man, I wish I'd known that in high school. Wow. You know what? I did not know that. I did not know that. I thought it just meant. Do you know what's really funny? I told this story in my bloopers, but back in the day when I made Jnco jeans, MC Singer, how can I forget? Oh, that makes me want to put my hammer pants on. Back in the day when I used to wear Jncos, I was going through some things. I was going through a lot of things. I dyed my hair blonde for a girl. I started dressing like Dennis Rodman from Demolition Man. And I'm not kidding you. Oh, those were good days with my giant Jnco jeans on. So every time I make a pair of Jncos, I kind of have to, all right, I have to take my glasses off, stop fronting, move this. I'm going to move this hanger, but it just reminds me of some bad choices I've made in life. But those are the beautiful lessons that you learn in life, you know? If you dye your hair for a girl, you have a day named after you. It's called Simp Day. Simp Day was on Monday. Simp Day. That's real though. I laughed way harder than I should have when I found out there is a National Simp Day. Hold on, before we switch. Hey, do we need to talk? Guys, do we need to talk? We don't need a National Simp Day. Come on, guys. But anyways. So, like I said, if my cameras give out like they did last time, I have my backup ready. So tonight I'm using my white heavy duty, my fancy new quilting machines. I really didn't want to put them to the test with something like this. Gilroy, we got to put that up again. You're killing. Oh, I was like 15. I was going through some things. But I dyed my hair blonde. I dyed my hair tennis ball green, and then I settled on Sinbad red. And for about a year and a half, almost 2 years, I rocked a red afro. Even simps need at least a year to party. Oh, the lessons you learn. Though this machine says heavy duty, I say this all the time. Oh, see, it couldn't even. Oh, here we'll help you out. We'll help you out. We'll go over here. How about this? There we go. Oh, there we go. We're in business. Okay. So this literally just proved my point. This machine, it says heavy duty. It's an old school white. This is not heavy duty. And I'm going to stop saying duty. But you have to be careful when you buy things because you're thinking like, oh, I can do leather work and all kinds of crazy things on this. They say that just because they used less plastic on this, basically. And I don't know what era they were allowed to start lying about things like that. With this, I do a combination of hand and machine sewing. But let's be real, the machine gets it done 10 times faster. Hey, Brandon, how's it going? How's it going? Great to see you. Great to see you. Awesome. Awesome. been a while. Good to see you. Hope everything is well. Oh, man. But something like this. Oh, did I do it? Did I? Oh, let me check to make sure. Oh, it's gonna be that kind of night. I think I've already sewn the top and bottom piece together. Let's check it out and see how much I have to seam rip, if not everything. Beautiful. Did I sew it together? Yes, I did sew it together. Okay, so I'm gonna find where the oh, that looks like an easy fix. Hopefully, maybe I do not have to use the seam ripper, which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Perfect. It's a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. The sewing machine is really unforgiving when you make a mistake, so you have to be careful. Awesome. Yeah, I'm good. Crazy as ever. Awesome. Nothing wrong with that. And you're in the right place. Welcome. I'm making some Jnco style jeans and telling the story about how I was super. And you know what's funny? I was in love, and I did do some crazy things, but I was a kid, And that's what you do when you're a kid. You do crazy things when you think you're in love. And when my son will tell me, like, I met this girl, I love her so much, I try not to laugh because I've been there and I know how it is to just be utterly, oh, I might have to rethread this. Yeah, this is definitely not going to be too heavy duty. So I know how it is, I've been there. And now with the internet, do you know, in my day, if you said you had a girlfriend in Canada, everybody thought you were lying. But nowadays, because of the internet, you really can have a girlfriend in Canada. So as a parent, it is a strange new world. Okay. So let's see if that helped or if that hurt. Okay. Perfect. Now let's see how high up I can get this. I get a lot of requests of people asking me how to make Jnco jeans. I have a full tutorial ready, so all I have to do is finish the jeans. And this will be on my Friday shows, or I might make a video independent and just prance around like a crazy person in my new pants, because I love Jnco jeans. I have a Canadian girlfriend. Her name is Alberta, Ontario, and she lives in Saskatchewan, British Columbia. It was the old, there was always that one friend, though. There was always that one friend who's like, oh, I have a girlfriend. She goes to a school that you don't know about. And everybody's like, oh, you're lying. And then there's a dance or something, and he shows up with her. And we're like, oh, this person wasn't living in a fantasy world. But you know what's so funny? Like, when I talk about these things, my standards are like 1990. I don't want to admit, but what do I know about these kids nowadays and what they do? Okay, so I've gone pretty high up. I'm gonna check my camera went out. It's because it's hot in here. All right, let me that's come on, equipment, I can take the heat. How come you can't take the heat? At least the school in the next town is believable. Nobody believes the Canadian girlfriend's so real. All right, let me honestly, I get sad when I think about my social situation. People treat me like I have the plague or something. You don't. You don't at all. You don't at all, Brandon. Oh, okay. So it's gonna take me a second. I can't believe. You know what happens? All of my cameras bonk out, and it's not just that one. Let me see if it'll let me go to my other camera. Nope, it will not. I even turned off my computer before I left, like a responsible adult and everything. It wouldn't be YouTube if it wasn't for technical difficulties. And quite honestly, Brandon, I feel the same way sometimes. Do you know the internet is an extremely strange place? It's where the disenfranchised go to treat people and disenfranchise them. As much as I understand it, I refuse to understand it. And I do not know why it happens, but sometimes I think it's just human nature. And that's not a cop out. It drives me crazy. That's why I stream alone. Because I know I'll show up on time. Oh, okay. Hurt people, hurt people, and misery loves company. Absolutely. Okay, let me mute myself. Let me make sure the volume's down. It should be. We'll find out. There we go. Brandon, you are. Oh, excuse me, Brandon. You are always welcome here in the House of Sewing. I'm just gonna make myself big for a little bit. Come on, Apple, do better. My crummy Dell computer is working better than my Apple. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm treated that way online. Only in real life it's because I'm disabled. I know I don't talk the way I should or walk the way I should. I completely understand. Even with my breathing issues, it gives me the appearance of being intoxicated sometimes, and I'm not. It's just literally a circulation issue. I have an ankle that gives out randomly, and it gives me the appearance of having an extremely bad leg. It's just my ankle is like, oh, I'm not going to work right now. Oh, right. It, Gilroy, do you really think it's my computer overheating? Because what happens is it kicks my cameras out, but it kicks all of my cameras out. My so-called closet for the win. Cameras can overheat too. Yikes. All right, so I'm gonna click out really quickly and try to click back in. This will literally take a second because it worked last time. My computer's like, do you really want to leave yet? All right, so let me know if you can hear me. I think I'm just gonna have to keep it on my mug camera. Oh, that stinks. I do live in the definition of the desert. I have every piece of equipment I could possibly go in here. I have Miss Marple going right here. I have Airwolf going right here. I get it. I have enough monitors in this room to. So I get it. Yay! Hello, hello, everyone. Just sitting here thinking I need a so-called closet, and here it is. Ugh. My cameras are overheating and they can't hang. But let's be real, like I live in the desert. Skits was saying earlier that in northern Cali it was 100 something today. It was 95 today. It was instant summer. I'm in my garage. There's no secret that my sewing room is my 2-car garage. There's a ton of space in here, but there's crummy insulation, and so when I first stepped in here, it's hot. It's hot. It happens. Awesome, awesome. You know what? It's my Hulk shirt. I'm blaming Hulk Hogan. I don't know why. Hello, hello. But like I said last week, I will not let technical difficulties. I will not let anything get in my way. Even my I knew it was hot in here because I recently purchased a brand new Canon camera, and every time you turn it on it says, hey, if this thing gets too hot, it's gonna tell you and it's gonna turn off. And last night my camera was like, what's wrong with you? It's too hot in here. And it was like 10 or 11 at night. I was doing my tutorial last night for how to make Jnco jeans, which will be out by Friday. And my Canon camera was like, turn me off. Hey, you haven't turned me off yet. It started beeping at me like it's too hot. Next on the stage, the overheated cameras vote for the best bad punk band of the year. Yay. We have too many names. I should have wrote down all the punk names that we've come up with over the years. But if I ever do have a band, the first name is going to be William and the Bobbins. And we'll just sing oldies. All right. So I'm going to try not to get overlapping here like I did last time. Oh, not you too. Not today. I will go full Lieutenant Dan on you, machine. All right. Looks like I'm going to have to get a test piece in here, but I think this is ready to go. With these old school machines, the top thread guide, it happens all the time. The thread pops out while it's sewing, but you know, you're sewing, so you do not notice. Finally heated up here. It's one of those things, like the first day it's hot, you're like, oh, it's glorious. Welcome back, son. The second day, you're like, I'm over it already. I'm over it. All right, this machine is ready to go. And like I said in my tutorial, most of the time I hand sew my Jncos, but this is black on black, and I'm going for the extremely like thready. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it because I'm old enough and I'm secure in my manhood. I'm going for the cyber goth look. I said it. Quote me. We're 34 minutes in, and I said something I thought I'd never say live on YouTube. William and the Bobbins. Love it. I vote. You all wear matching hand-sewn costumes. William and the Bobbins makes me think of a doo-wop group where everybody's wearing really nice ruffled suits from the 1960s. And at least one person's got glasses on, like Sammy Davis Jr. Oh, oh. Like I said, I have pins on both sides. So this thing is constantly pricking me. And it makes me laugh in a way because that's my knee-jerk reaction is to laugh at things, but it's constantly stabbing me. Oh, good times. You know what? I can take some of these pins out. That is one thing I like about I brought a drawer back because I needed a drawer near me. That's one thing I like about being weirdly organized is that I kind of know where everything is. So knowing where my pin cushions are at all times actually helps because I'm constantly looking for a pin cushion. All right, let's try that again. Do you know what? I'm a bit rusty at doing this, but eventually I'm going to catch my groove and I'm just going to fly through this. He just said, ironically, on YouTube. That's right up there next to watch this, hold my beer, and hey, look at this. All right, let's try not to overlap. Perfect. Beautiful. You know what? Let's ask the phone tap what the temperature is in here. Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 76 degrees Fahrenheit.
I need to open up the door. That's paradise. That is one thing. We do have crazy desert weather here where it's hot during the day and cool at night. So I do appreciate the cool weather. Do-wop group, absolutely. 68 here. Hey, Brandon, nice to meet you on here. I'm not your baby. Yeah, now that I think about it, Brandon, there's quite a few of us that are people with disabilities. There's quite a few of us. I have extreme hardcore medical things that I have to take care of. That's why the other night when DJ Dose was like, "What are you doing home on a Saturday night?" This is what I do, Dose. This is what I do. And you know what's really funny? Do you know what's really funny? Recently, I haven't been feeling myself at all because the smog is so high here in Los Angeles. I should have taken a picture. There was so much smog in the air, you couldn't see the mountains. They were like, "Oh, it's haze," and I went on my phone, and it was like, "Oh, by the way, like the breathing index was to 108. I didn't know it goes past 100." And it was like, "Oh, by the way, if you can't breathe, don't go outside." Smog was awful. It reminds me of the 80s. And we can't even blame the smog pump because the smog pump was actually science that worked in real time in our lifetime. It's just people, fires, and the combination of the wind. But it's just unhealthy here. It's crazy how bad the air is here right now. I have medical things, so does William and the others here. You're welcome. Here, everyone here is super nice. We are and accepting. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you can't breathe, so you need to stay inside from the Goodwills and Mr. Motel. You know, what's the saying? Correlation isn't causation or whatever. When I lived in the heart of Los Angeles 20 something years ago, I got sick all the time. When I moved to Oregon, I didn't get sick one time. I didn't have to go to the doctor one time. So I'm not saying that the air, because Oregon, like many places, anywhere where, like even in Arizona has, their air quality is amazing because they're out in the middle of the desert. But I didn't get sick at all when I lived in Oregon or Arizona. Okay. All right. I know I'm going to have to reload the bobbin on this one. We're going to test the bobbin winder out on this machine. It's bad. And so even today, the sky was brown. It's just nasty. It's just nasty. Oh, man. All right. So I'm going to take out some of these pens because I have one side sewn. Like I said, I do a heavy combination of both hand sewing and machine sewing. It just depends on how froggy I'm feeling that day. And I'm not even trying to be funny, but both are valid. I've done both. Should I go? I have a stack of Jnco jeans and all of the bell bottoms I've made. And you can see the progression of my style over the years because I fell in love with bell bottoms. I made a video about it and I was like, I don't care what era this is, where it's from, how old you think I am. I love bell bottoms. And then do you know what's funny? I heard that Jncos were back in style, so I made a video. All right. So that's one almost completed side. As you can see, oh, it looks great on camera, but it's huge. That's just one leg. That is the outside. Oh, that's gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna keep sewing. I go back and forth whether to make the inside leg huge or make the outside leg huge. On this particular pair of pants, I made the inside leg on both sides huge. So we're gonna see how this comes out. Oh, it looks like I need to add some pens on here. Where are my notes? Do you know the world of MMA is crazy? I might have a whole chapter in my book about people that I don't even know what you call it, practice MMA every day, but they're not professional. And you're my age. Oh, all right. I can't believe actually I can believe my camera is overheating, but it's going to be that kind of summer. Normally, what I do is I move most of my computers into the closet. It's just the Wi-Fi has been so bad they can't live in there anymore. And every time I go to get my internet fixed or something, they tell me like, "Oh, you should buy another booster." I'm going to be honest. I spent almost $400 or $500 for the Arrow system that's in my house. And like between my bedroom, my son's, those are like you have to be standing near it to get internet. Spectrum is terrible. And the Arrow works. I'm not saying it doesn't. The Arrow system works. If you go to Best Buy and you feel like having really good Wi-Fi in your house, it works, but I shouldn't have to pay that much when I'm already paying a crazy amount for I know you're gonna think I'm insane, but for cable and internet. And you know what's funny? I've asked my son 100 times, do you still watch cable? And I'm the one who hasn't cut it off. So maybe I'm the one that's hooked on cable. I think he bought too many boosters and now they're canceling each other out. It's one system. Wow. It's one system and this weird Amazon tower I have. But I will say I noticed improvement when I put the tower in. That was another thing that I purchased not reading the instructions or thinking it was something that it wasn't. I was looking for something that was an independent Wi-Fi source. I wanted to be able to live stream my adventures, man. I go all over the place. I see all kinds of wacky and crazy things. I go to thrift stores like all over Southern California, and Southern California is huge. So huge that I do not repeat. So I was looking for an independent Wi-Fi source and something that I could have in my car without having to buy one of those stupid Chevys that already has Wi-Fi in it. Oh, perfect. But alas, I ended up buying that stupid booster that I thought was something that it wasn't, but it improved the Wi-Fi in this room even more. You know, I don't feel as bad because I watch a lot of YouTube and people of all kinds of socioeconomic backgrounds, corporations. I've seen all kinds of people have internet problems. So I know it's not just me. So at least I take solace in that. Like even today, I knew that my cameras were going to overheat. How could they not? Oh, I had a whole protocol for this back when I used to care. But now I'm going to have to, the great cleaning of this room is happening. So it's called a hotspot. Everyone sells them. They just take a cell signal and turn it into Wi-Fi. I need a hotspot. But I wanted, you know, I'm tactile. I wanted something heavy and heavy duty so that I could have 15 devices at once. I think that's part of my problem is that I'm obsessed with the technology side just as much as I am obsessed with being on YouTube. That's why I go and research and get Canon cameras and try to get the best things that I can. But it doesn't always work out. Oh, I'm so mad I can't use my camera. But every time I use it, it bonks out. So I have to eventually learn that lesson. And I have Men at Work stuck in my head. Who could it be now? Who could it be now? Oh, the machine bonked again. I caught it though. Oh, I have a feeling I'm going to have to completely. Oh, I'm going to have to watch that. Because what happens is when that happens, I have to not rethread the machine completely, but almost. I think I'm going to put my Dritz holder over here. So I'm going to angle it so it doesn't happen. We need to take a hotspot and stick it into some piece. We need to take a hotspot and stick it into some piece of Cold War military surplus. Actually, do you know what's really funny? In this room, I have all kinds of World War II memorabilia I can't show. I have all kinds of World War II memorabilia because my predecessor was a collector. But I know for a fact that I cannot show half of it on YouTube because of the insignias on half of the stuff. I know. And I'm not even going to sit up here and try. But I have a bunch of World War II and Cold War era memorabilia. I don't know if you remember, but that's how I found my Star Trek uniform. Because a long time ago, I found at a swap meet, there was a vendor that just had a giant cardboard bale of like coats from Romania, Croatia, all around the world. Man, I spent 20 minutes digging in that thing. And it was funny because I found the Star Trek uniform at the bottom of it. Oh, that was a glorious day for collectors. And it's a real uniform from well, I say real, it's from the 60s or 70s. It's a real replica. All right. That's another reason why I'm gonna start a Twitch channel. Okay, this is where it gets complicated. Perfect. All right. Do you know what? I'm not going to say it until I'm done. Actually, I'm not going to say that until I'm done. But this machine is performing at a decent pace. We need to go. Come on over. Oh. But really, I want to be, because I have all kinds of cool stuff. I have all kinds of stuff, but like, I don't know if it would be like politically correct. And because of my father, I have all kinds of like, I don't even know how to, I have all kinds of Civil War memorabilia too. A ton. I have a real life Confederate Colt. And you know what's really funny? I've flashed it here on YouTube a bunch of times because it's black powder. Supposedly, it's not considered, a weapon. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, are you gonna finish? Did you really? It's rare that I have a machine that can reach the top piece of a pair of pants like this, because let's be real, I'm not working with an industrial, and so far this white is working to an acceptable limit. No, it's working really well so far. I don't want to give it too much praise because every time I've done that, the machine explodes on me. And we're playing bobbin roulette right now because I can't remember how much was in the bobbin. All right, so I'm going to take quite a few pins out of this one. There's still a lot of hand sewing that's going to go into this. But I'm just stitching the top panels on to illustrate how beautiful Jnco jeans are. I think after all these years, I just love making these. Oh, look at that pant leg. All right. Yeah, I want to come to Twitch, but like, because Rumble, it kind of came and went. And technically, I still have a Rumble channel. Go check me out. But the funny thing is, for the longest time, YouTube had all these weird terms of service. And recently, on my other channel, which I am pulling up right now, I will spare you the drama of making you look at my other channel. But what I'm trying to say is that I was able to upload a lot of stuff that I wasn't able to upload 2 years ago. So in no way, shape, or form do I understand YouTube's terms of service at all. Especially a lot of the sewing commercials that I have on my other channel, I have no idea why all of a sudden I'm able to show them. YouTube I have no idea. There's no semblance of order there. I'll spare you the commercial, but what I'm trying to say is that all sewing channels. Oh, I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't know. But YouTube's been really after me with their oh, hold on one second. Oh, I know my computer's like, Liz, I think you're time traveling. I'm obsessed with bell bottoms as a teenager. I wore them with huge platform shoes so I could attempt to look like a Spice Girl. All those streaming platforms leave content creators in the dark. They do. And the funny thing is, like, they wouldn't be here without us. That's what trips me out, because who watches YouTube besides the people who like have channels and obsess over it? Like a few of us here. I won't point the finger at anyone in particular, myself, but I almost timed myself out. It's just strange to me. And their terms of service have no. I might have to dug out for a bit so I can go home and go. I'll be here for a little bit longer. I'm gonna try to finish these pants, but thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much. What was I doing? Oh yeah, it's been a while. I'm a bit dusty. I'm a bit rusty and dusty. But I was shocked how YouTube let me all of a sudden, this is the artist formerly known as Godless Sewing channel. This is my new backup to my backup. I was locked out of my backup, so I'm shocked. This video that is an hour and something long, I was never able to put it on YouTube, and all of a sudden YouTube's just like, oh, you can put it on here. They threatened to take my channel down over this because I tried to post it years ago. All of these commercials. I love this commercial.
There's more for your Christmas at Sears.
More choices and more savings, too. Save $70 on this Kenmore microwave oven. Just
I watched way too much television as a kid.
Electronic touch controls and temperature probe. Save $40 on this sewing machine.
Look at that Kenmore. Look at her face. She's like, whoa, that's a Kenmore. I have like 9 of those. That's beautiful.
Machine with 6 built-in stitches and button holder. And save $40 on this PowerMate vacuum with...
I'm just pausing it just in case they come after me.
Beater bar brush. So wrap up a beautiful Christmas.
There's more for your life at Sears.
That's gold. They threatened to take my channel down, and now I don't even know why I'm allowed to show any of that anymore. Cramps. I don't know why they came after me. I don't know why. Sears isn't even around anymore. Why would they care about their commercial? The thing is, some crazy person owns the right. I'm not going to say the name, but there's an individual who owns hundreds of sewing commercials. That's why on my backup channel, I'm posting all of these because I have to figure out which ones give me the community strike. I really dislike how big corps treat creators. Even if they consider us curators, they should let us post. Let legal handle takedowns. Absolutely. And and I think that's part of the problem. To quote my and you know what? Shout out to YouTube, because there was one time they threatened to take down my channel, and I had a whole anxiety attack and I panicked. And I'm not kidding you. My answer was, I just want to sew and rock out. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. Whoever read that reply was like, oh, I feel sorry for this guy. Keep his channel. But they came after me, and it's terrible. If there isn't a cease and desist, let it fly. Exactly. And you know what? I kind of look at it like, it was the Jiffy Lube commercials that almost took my channel down. But like, I loved those 1970s raw, just bad acting commercials. All of the 1980s and 1990s commercials, I remember those. Like the one I just showed, the Christmas commercial, I remember that. There's one that I have yet to post, so I won't show it, but it's from the 90s. Back when JCPenney's was selling like a knockoff Jordan jersey. I have one. I still have it. It just didn't have the NBA patch. It was like it was a molded on. It just wasn't the patch. That was the only difference. But my whole point is that whole era has a weird copyright strike. And I'm nostalgic and I like sharing things that I love with people. So it's weird to me that somebody would hoard that like a Bond villain, like an angry, bitter human. Oh, if you own all those Amco commercials and all those Singer commercials, get over yourself. Imagine, and I'm taking this from something Kilroy said a while ago, but imagine being an heir to the Singer commercial throne. Get over yourself. And it's not just the corporations, it's people who buy the rights to this, to all of this. And then instead of opening it up to the people, they like copyright strike for everything. It's crazy. Like I said, I'm a man of the people. If I owned something, I would open it up. Be like, hey, I'm the kind of man, and I know there's a bunch of legality behind it. I don't own a pool. This isn't a restaurant. This isn't a hotel. I just want to show a commercial. You can see my passion for. I'm so over YouTube's terms of service. It's extremely confusing. All right, let's get back to sewing before my camera gives out again. And it's funny because they go after people that are doing things they love. Like they'll get weird copyright strikes because people make weird corsets or something. YouTube, I've seen what's on YouTube. I've seen the mayhem on YouTube. It's weird to me, the things that are allowed and the things that aren't. Exactly. Open it up and let people enjoy watching the old commercials. Hi, Pam. Great to see you. Great to see you. Do you know what's funny? When I went to Vegas, I almost drove to Utah because I forgot how close Las Vegas is. When I got there, I'm like, do you know if I kept going, I could be in Utah by the morning. Deep into Utah. Great to see you, Pam. Great to see you. It's strange. The only people that profit off non-monetized channel is YouTube. Those companies can chase down all these uses, let us have fun, and leave the web of derelict data for future generation. That's what bothers me. Or I know this is going to make some people jump. I had this really weird concept for my channel, and I wanted to always open it up with the stoop of apartment 227. I obsessively watched television as a child. I obsessively watched television, and I got a copyright strike for that. So I can't even have the 227 stoop without taking a hit for it. I just like, I'm obsessed with old school pop culture. So I just don't understand why they have such a tight grip on something that nobody watches except for fanatics. I wanted my opening to have music with the stoop. And they were not entertained with that at all. And what am I putting my foot on? It's not my sewing machine. And yeah, I have a Regina King thing. I have for over like 30 years. Oh, it did it again. Now I see why they got rid of you, machine. No, but this machine is actually holding up. It's me. That's not. I'm just not paying attention. Okay. Okay. Yay. That's absolutely crazy. It is. It's like Metallica or Don Henley. They were hard asses on YouTube, and now their popularity is declining, while the ones that let their music on YouTube are still popular. I say this all the time. That beat that I constantly play is by DJ Quick. He opened up his whole catalog. Do you know why? Because I'm obsessed with 90s music. I still watch interviews. He talks about how he's for the people. And you know what? He actually is. Because he could take my whole channel down. See, my show would have Seinfeld with that quirky thing. I do like that. That was another show I obsessively watched. Oh, am I sewing both sides? Ah, I think I am. Let me pull this out and check the mess. Sewing and talking do not always go. I'm going to get a sign in here that says less talking, more sewing. Did I sew it together? Oh, I did. Let's see the damage. Oh, that's not bad because it's a zigzag, so it's kind of loose. I love that. I need to start posting and streaming again, but I get busy doing other day-to-day stuff. Life of a mom. I totally get it. I like had to fight for these times. That's one reason I come on late is because that's the only time where I'm not doing my soccer mom stuff. And it's summer. So if anyone wonders why I'm posting 10 times more, it's because it's summer. And my son, I asked him, because he's in high school now and he's in charge of his schedule. And I was like, I looked at him a week or two ago, and I was like, please do not go to summer school this year. Take a year off. Because I'm his official chauffeur. All right. So now that I fixed that mess, let's go to this next one. And for anyone watching, making Jncos is not for the faint of heart. Or just making jeans in general. Well, sewing in general is not for the faint of heart. So, like I said, these pins have been jabbing me this entire time we've been talking. They're falling out. Some are being forgotten and ran over by the sewing machine. So this is definitely not a beginner project. There's nothing wrong with that at all, Pam. I was thinking about like vlogging some of the things that I do, but then I started watching some of the channels and I was like, nobody's gonna care. All right. Perfect. Okay, I do not need that pin. But again, I'm making these Jncos because for all the people who keep on looking up how to make Jncos on my channel, I already have a full tutorial ready. And I'm glad that I decided to wait to sew this on stream. Because every time I make a pair like this, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot how much I hate making these. But it's just, you just have to pay attention while you're making something like this. And this is definitely one of those projects where if you're not paying attention, you're going to constantly be going back and fixing all of your mistakes. And the funny thing is, for everything I'm saying right now, the finished project is going to be amazing. And that's what makes it worth it. You know what? I'm not going to push it. It's all good. I'll eventually get there. I only have one child, so I can only imagine. Okay. Let me check my notes. There was something else I was going to waffle about, but I can't remember now. And my my bobbin is like, I quit. Wow, there's actually a considerable amount in there still. I'm surprised. All right, let's throw that in there. YouTubing, I have to tell myself this all the time. It's a luxury because all the day-to-day stuff, the daily grind is real life. This is me living out the thing that I love to do. Because let me tell you, when I'm at work, I'm not living out the thing I live today. And in a weird way, I am because I'm helping people, but it's still work, you know. Uh-oh. Okay, the bobbin is starting to. Not today, bobbin. Not today. What happened? Okay. So, oh, there's thread in there. Let's try that again. Okay. You know what's funny? This is like a 30-something-year-old sewing machine that hasn't been used probably in that many years, and I'm like, why aren't you working properly? I literally pulled this out of the minors and brought it up to the major leagues to make a pair of pants. So it's doing extremely well for where it was a week ago. Okay. Let me salvage this side. Okay. And you know, that's why I like coming out here sometimes and showing my failures, because sewing isn't always isn't all victories. I'm not kidding you. The entire time I've been sitting here, these pants are poking me with pins. I'm just not reacting because that's life. Oh, okay. Let me get the good side before I completely lose this side. What's the deal with bobbins? They have thread and then they don't. And when they don't have thread, they want thread, but they won't let you put it in it. That's so true, though. That is so true. All right. Not today, bobbins. Not today. You know what's really funny? Now that I think about it, my not this cam, not the CCTV cam, but the cam, the one that keeps on bonking out, it was advertised as something that could take the heat. It's supposed to be a camera that can take extreme conditions. That was one of the requirements for being allowed to be in this room in the first place, because I remember now where I got that. Spoiler, it was at my local Target, the same Target where it was national news of people fighting over Stanley Cups, and that was my hometown. Fools. All right, that's much better. Perfect. I'm kind of doing this kind of peckish because it's working, but I'm trying not to overwork it and not get stabbed multiple times in the process. When I say that, YouTube, I'm talking about pins. All right. I haven't seen a Stanley Cup in months. Do you know what's really funny? I've trained my eye to notice them. And where I live, I've been noticing a lot of old school Stanley Cups. I actually took a picture of, oh, she's such a lovely person. There's a vendor at the San Fernando Valley swap meet. I asked her, I was like, hey, can I take a picture of your cup? She's like, of course. Her Stanley Cup was like 30 years old. I put it in a reel somewhere. Oh man, I gotta unjumble this mess. There we go. There we go. Perfect. So I've seen more of the old school Stanley Cups. Fads are funny. Fads are so funny. Some, like clothes, okay, they'll be back. Reciprocal, style is reciprocal. It's going to come back. But like cups, I guess a cup will never go out of style. No matter what, you're always going to need some gut busting cup. I live in America, the land of the Big Bubba cup, which I may or may not own one or two. Oh, right. Oh man, I can't believe I've already. Huh. I'm almost done. I'm going to have to pull all the pins out of here and go through every mistake. As a matter of fact, there's a mistake I've already seen that I should fix now while I remember. Oh, man. When making something this huge, it's always good to go back and reinforce your seams. I constantly talk about, reinforce your seams, but like, I'm kind of not kidding. It's important to make sure that the item you're sewing is secure. And that is from pure experience. Okay. Over time, I've learned to fix certain mistakes when I see them. But I could sit here all day and nitpick these pants, which I'll do off stream. But for now, I'm just fixing mistakes and making sure that everything is properly sewn. Oof. Okay. Perfect. All right. So let me get this other side. Did I really get both sides on there? I did. All right. Well, talking and waffling, I didn't notice that I'm almost done with these. Cup craze is wild. 30 to 45 and people are collecting them. Do you know, like, I'm going to tell you, this cup, I bought this cup at Ross pre-pandemic. People ask me all the time, are you trying to make a political statement? Are you trying to say something? I've gone through a ton of coffee cups. I've had coffee cups stolen. And I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm not saying this to be political. No one has stole this cup. No one has even attempted to take my cup. I was looking for an all pink tumbler because I was tired of people messing with my stuff. But I've had this for a solid 5 years and no one has touched my cup. I love my cup. And this was pre-Stanley Cup. But I like because sometimes I want to see how much I've changed over the years. So I'll go back to a stream that I was on 5 years ago. It's really been that long. And I always laugh when I'm talking and I pull this cup out. And I'm like, yup, I've had that cup for a long, long time. But I'm loyal to anything that's loyal to me. Who are the people with that much money to go buy one? That's crazy. One in each color. That is crazy. There's a mom at the MMA class before. She's one of those people. Every day she has a different color Stanley Cup. I've been using the same cup for years. 1 quart glass beer mug. I bought from Walmart for $8. I love those cups. I probably have one of those in my cabinet. Pink is better than poached. I was so mad. I used to have these really fancy mossy oak cups. And they got stolen. I was so mad someone stole my coffee cup. I was beside myself angry that someone stole my coffee cup. Oh man, they didn't have that much money. It all goes on a credit card. That's for real. That is for real. Do you know I think about that all the time? Because I own everything I'm in, my truck, my car. So I can do crazy things to my car. But when I'm driving around, and my new thing is spot the Tesla Cybertruck. My son, he's on this thing of like he doesn't know if he loves or hates them. And in my town, there is quite a few people for some reason who own that vehicle. And you know what? I'm not even here to say my opinion either way, but I see them everywhere now. But I wonder, like, Alexa, how much is a Tesla Cybertruck?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, a Tesla Cybertruck's MSRP or cost can range from $39,900 to $69,900, depending on the different options. This does not include destination fees.
Alexa, thank you.
You are so very welcome.
That's not as
Hope
much
you
as
had a good Wednesday.
That's not as much as I thought they were. You're still spending a lot of money for a fad. It just makes me wonder, like, do these people really have the money to be able to afford these things? Or is it all on credit, is my question. I'm weird. I own everything. Everything you see, unfortunately, I own. So it's just weird. And if you live on credit, I'm not judging you. It's more of a question. I've never, I don't know. So I'm just asking. Because a lot of people pretend to be things they're not. So they'll buy a Cybertruck, they'll buy a Rolex watch. And I would rather drive my crummy car to the house I own rather than the Cybertruck looks like a toaster. I'm sorry. Even more than the Scion, it looks like a toaster. I'm sorry. And I love trucks. People are racking up insane consumer debt. I've always wondered about that. That's the one thing I appreciate about being raised by frugal humans. I've always wondered about that. I could not sleep at night if I owed money like that. If that vehicle is that expensive, there better be zero destination fees, a butler to show up around the vehicle, and a chef with thick, juicy steak to have after the first drive. For some reason, I thought they were $100,000. For some reason. Oh, and if for anyone keeping score, my neighbor who I constantly talk about has the Ferrari. He's upgraded to a black Lamborghini. And I think he owns a Cybertruck too, because he's probably the only, because someone in this neighborhood has one. It's got to be him, because no one else has money to throw away like that. And I constantly talk about how I live in the suburbs, but I see for sale signs all the time on houses. So times are hard here too. Okay, let me finish this. Oh, come on, man. You've almost successfully made a pair of Jncos. You know, these Japanese clone machines are undefeated. I'm going to save my praise until I'm done sewing, because every time I do, there's disaster. I thought those vehicles were 10 times more expensive for some reason. Maybe that's why everybody has them around here. I'm over it. I feel like, has anyone ever seen the movie Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that kid goes through the movie theater? There's a part where he goes through the movie screen, and there's a part where he's trying to tell Arnold, like, hey, dude, this is the movie. And he tells Arnold, like, look around. There's nothing but beautiful people here. I feel like that when I'm driving my truck and I'm like there's nothing but new cars and my beater truck on the road. Oh, these are going to be awesome. I can't believe I said CyberGoth live on YouTube. But it's just weird to me. It's one of those weird things where, like, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not here to dog anyone's taste, or I'm not here to do that because I have strange taste. I'm literally watching Airwolf right now. And I cried when this was a day late. I'm not judging anyone's taste in anything. For someone who watches Ernest Borgnine movies and television shows, I am not judging anyone. But it's just strange to me, people's obsession with trends, as I'm making Jnco jeans because they're popular again. But a pair of jeans, these are inexpensive compared to a Tesla truck that looks like a toaster from the future. It looks like the toaster that's on the remake of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy with Mos Def. And I always follow this one YouTuber, and she always says, "Oh, if you have disposable income, give it to me." No, if you have disposable income, save it. Save it. People, if that vehicle, oh, sorry, already read that one. Do you know what's really funny? I'm talking all of this. I'm saying all these insane things about one, and then like I might pop up with one like a week from now. I'm kidding. I would never besmirch the house of sewing with that toaster. And plus, if I'm going to spend money for something like that, I'm going to get a super heavy duty. Something that can actually haul stuff. Uh-oh. Did I mess around with you too much? I did. What happened? It's because I gave too much praise to this machine. All right, let's check that out. All right. Oh, and the bobbin's out anyways. Perfect opportunity to wind this bobbin on an untested machine. Why not? We're almost done with these jeans anyways. Man, these jeans have been just pricking me the entire time. That's how you know that your grandma was hard as nails. She was getting stabbed by pins and not saying a word back in the day. Oh, right. I have to angle this. I have my Dritz holder at a really weird angle because it keeps on throwing the thread, and I know why. It's all about the angling, but now that I'm trying to wind the bobbin, I have to re-angle everything. Perfect. So we are going to find out. I think this is old school, so you loosen that. And I think that releases the motor. This is truly untested in live because I really haven't been using this like this. So we're going to find out if this works or not. And because these are weirdly separate functions, sometimes the machine will work, but the bobbin winder won't. The rubber could be messed up, or it's always something, but we'll find out. It's always anticlimactic when it actually works. But because I'm not insecure, me and my pink and blue cup have happily lived together for 5 years. Beautiful. Well, we now know that the bobbin winder works on this machine. All right, perfect. I took a moment out to like put that through a thread guide. It has a really strange thread guide at the top. But like I said, for a machine that's 30 something years old, if not older, it's holding up. And I'm sewing a pair of Jnco jeans on something that says heavy duty. But let's be real. Let's talk about that for a second. Just because something says it's hardcore doesn't necessarily mean that it is. This is a Singer heavy duty sewing machine. And if I used this every day, this thing would literally burst into flames and run out of this room. It's pretty, though. And this white says heavy duty as well. It's a commercial, it's a domestic sewing machine, you know. Unless it's a hand tool, if you can pick it up with one hand, it's not heavy duty. You can tell the difference because when I grab those all metal ones, I'm like, oh, two hands. And you think I'm kidding? I curl that that white sewing machine that I have no idea why somebody tried to hand paint it. You know, I love inexperience. I think inexperience is a beautiful thing. I think inexperience should actually, we should highlight inexperience. But if you don't know what you're doing, don't paint a sewing machine. Because one day that sewing machine is going to meet a fanatic that's going to be like, come on, man. What were these people thinking? Actually, no. In today's society, we celebrate inexperience too much. Perfect. Oh, it would help if the machine was... Oh, good times here in the House of Sewing. Good times. All right. So I'm almost done with these Jnco style jeans. But this 30-something-year-old machine that's semi-heavy duty needs some help. And that's okay. Because like I used to say, we all need help. Oh, these are going to be spectacular. Just to show you what they look like right now. These are huge. Oh, look at that. For anyone wondering why I don't have my usual sewing cam is because it's overheating. And for some reason, when the camera tells StreamYard that it's overheating, it kicks all my cameras off. So we have the over-caffeinated cam. Yep, that's right. You and Ned Professional. That's right. That's right. You need professional help. I do. I'm going to get professional movers and take all this to a warehouse. I also want to be somewhere where I can finally make my steampunk sewing machine, where I'm zoned for it. Because there's a few things, like I want to do it with a copper kettle. I guarantee you I'm not zoned for that. I could make a steampunk sewing machine in 15 minutes if you gave me a couple copper kettles. All right. So I think there's one more. No, am I done? No, I'm not done. There's one more to be done, isn't there? Yeah, okay. I was about to say that was a wrong leg. After all the sewing and waffling, I know there's at least one more to be done. Do you know what's so funny? I think I told the story on Monday. There was an industrial sewing machine at oh, that's right. I started it but did not finish it at a thrift store that I've been avoiding for months. And to the point where I walked in, the manager told me it was gone, and I was like, "Why didn't you call me?" And she's like, "You stopped coming in here because of that machine." She was mad because I didn't want to buy it. And they had it at a really outrageous price for something so trashed. And someone purchased it. So, needless to say, the next industrial I see, I'll jump on it. And like I always say, I'm not over it because I'm still talking about it. I keep on forgetting the camera's on me. In my mind, I keep on thinking it's on the sewing cam. Glad I haven't done anything too crazy on stream. Besides my excessive sniffing. Oh, right. These pins are falling out from underneath, but that's a good thing because this is slowly tightening itself because this is the last piece to be sewn. So everything else is pretty much sewn in place. Just have to... Oh, what happened? There we go. Come on. Come on. You're almost done. We're almost there. Oh, no bunching. Did you sew? Oh, I think I stabbed it. I'm going to have to pull that last piece out. I think it's sewn together. I have my hand on it. I know it's sewn together. You don't need movers. You need shipping containers. I would keep them and turn them into something. I got lost in this rabbit hole. So I don't know who needs to hear this. Like living in shipping containers it's kind of a no-go. And there's a million different problems. Like some people have done it successfully, but there's always a leaking problem. So if you live anywhere where it rains all the time, I wouldn't suggest it. And like where I live, it gets to be 100-something degrees. Like it's probably 80 to 90 in this room right now. If I was in a shipping container, I would be like a human baked potato. But I've seen some amazing builds with shipping containers, as I completely just condemned the entire industry. But I've seen amazing builds. So if I ever had shipping containers, I would build a huge grotto in my backyard with shipping containers. Either they leak or they're too airtight, and you get mold and mildly over the mold and moldy all over the inside. Yes. Do you know how disappointed I was when I found that out? I could build a hillbilly shipping container mansion. I'm not kidding you. I have the crane, I have the lifts, I have the torches. I could get it done in less than a day. I would build you a hillbilly mansion. I actually saw somebody. I don't want to quote where it was, but it was somewhere in the Midwest. This guy built this amazing mansion with 6 shipping containers, but he admitted it was a moldy mess, but it looked great. A long time ago, I had this idiotic, insane idea of moving to Australia. And for anyone keeping record, Australia is still begging me to move there 4 years later. One day I'm going to get all the letters. They send it to me once every 6 months. They're like, hey, do you still feel like living in Australia, person? But I was going to buy shipping containers and move all of my stuff to Australia. But I was going to physically own the containers. So I started looking into all the things that you could do with shipping containers, and you can do amazing things. But I would make more of a half dome open structure over a pool or something. I wouldn't necessarily make a house because of what Kilroy was saying. It's one of my fantasies destroyed, just like living in a van. I talk about it all the time. I'm from an era where vans were cool, and when I was a kid, me and my friend were like, we're going to go live in a van and travel the country. Now that's called hashtag van life, hashtag no thank you. And for everyone who's heard my van life, you know what the funny thing is? I go off about van life because it's fear. Van life used to be a punishment for people that didn't finish college. Oh, I'm going to stop. Oh, we're almost there. Come on. Come on. Hashtag van life. Oh, we're almost done with these Jncos. I can see a bunch of places I'm going to have to hand sew these, but I'm almost done. I just don't want this piece to be uneven. Perfect. Or can I just say it's a threat that my mother would... Van life was a threat in this house. The house of sewing, that was a threat back when I was a little bobbin. You'll live in a van by the river was real, bro. Oh. Either they... Oh, okay. Van life seems like a good idea until you actually do it. Do you know how much I wanted it? Rashawn, you're laughing, but van life scares me. I'm going to go back to the video of when I truly discovered what van life was on YouTube, because let's be real, I'm in my 40s. I'm willing to admit my age. I didn't start going on YouTube until my late 30s. So a lot of these concepts, a lot of these conversations, I didn't join until I was almost 40. So when I discovered this, I was like, oh no, people, you're being lied to. Hashtag save van life, people. Oh. And I've traveled, man. If you're backpacking in Europe, that's just fancy homelessness. Let's be real. Come on. Let's just be real. It's not like Werewolf in Paris. All right, let's unpin these. I have officially finished my Jnco jeans. Now I have to pull these 30 or 40 pins in here. I can see a few places where this is going to need help, but I'm going to throw these things on in a minute. Oh, we're still under 2 hours. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave a pin right there to remind myself that still needs some love. Perfect. This will actually give me something to do because I need to film myself sewing on these for my video, because I'm doing step-by-step instructions, but anyone who's ever done a tutorial online, it's a lot of just stopping and starting, and then you're explaining what you're doing. Oh, excuse me. And you know, I'm a human being of repetition. I believe anybody can master anything if you just do it over and over and over. And a lot of that is me not talking. So it's been a while since I've made a tutorial. Oh, these are going to be awesome. But I'm thinking about going to the gym with all the Jncos I've made. But I picked up the pile the other day, and you got to work out to lift those up. And for anyone wondering, I was not kidding you when I said I had a bale of denim. Okay. You know what? I'm going to fix this right here, right now, so I don't have to do it later. Since we're all hanging out, we've gathered to see a pair of jeans. We finished. Let's finish them the proper way. I always forget that there's two sides to these jeans. The top of Jncos have always been a mystery to me. I am Donnie Don't when it comes to making clothes. I do a lot of things in a really like boxcar hobo, like a hardcore way, you know. But the other day when I made my hammer pants, one of the reasons they were done so fast is because I made them the proper way. I measured everything, I lined up everything, and I hit everything with the serger. These are a little bit more complicated because I'm flopping fabric on top of each other and cutting pieces and hoping for the best. All right, let me make sure that's not on top of that. Perfect. Okay. You can stay. Everything else has got to go. Perfect. You got to go underneath there. I don't want any bunching. Please don't be so... Okay. I'm trying not to sew the leg into itself. Oh, that's... Do you know what's so funny? That's always the most difficult part. And it actually worked. I'm not even going to ask why. I'm going to keep moving. Ugh. My phone is too hot. Oh, that poor iPhone 7 is like, why am I still alive? Why am I still here, Master Sewing? Why am I still here? Oh, all right. So I'm going to take a look. I was watching a show and this woman came out in a peasant hood and cloak, and any remaining resistance I had to the idea went away. Man, it's better to be in front of the curb than behind it, man. I am all about being fashion forward. I'm going to leave that pin there. When the stream's over, I'm going to come through with the serger and completely serge the bottom of these pants. I'm kind of cleaning up as I'm going because I love that crazy stitch look, but this is black on black. And so it looks beautiful. So I'm trying to keep that uniform look. And this is a dark, dark black, but this is a cheaper denim. So after a couple washes, this is going to not be so dark black. But like I said, I've made all kinds of pairs of Jncos, and I'm trying to keep the color continuity on this one. Because I've made different color Jncos, and those weird hippie ones, I made Jncos with a flower print, and they ended up looking like some 1960s pants or something. They took on a life of their own. Oh, right. Just trying to find all the pins that are going to really get me. Oh, these are huge. Let me make sure I have decent socks on. That's one good sock. Okay, I'm not matching, but I have two decent pairs of socks. But I have two decent socks on. You ever had that moment where you had to look down and be like, okay, are my socks presentable for YouTube? All right, I'm going to try this on. If you hear me ooching and scooching, it's because there's pins in here, and I probably have missed one or two. Oh, Jnco's for the win. I'm wearing my Hulk shirt. It's hot as Hades here. Oh. Do you know what's really funny? I'm actually excited. We found out what Jnco's means, and I already forgot what it means. Oh, don't tell me. Did the Celtics win? Okay, I'm not looking at SportsCenter. That pin already got me in the foot. Oh, these are perfect. Oh, these pants are perfect. Your stinky socks are never presentable. I can smell them all the way from here. I do wear cowboy hats. Cowboy hats, cowboy boots. Judge none, chase one. Oh, I love that. I forgot about that. That's beautiful. I had no idea. I had no idea Jnco's was so deep. Oh, that's right. Everybody got to see me on YouTube. Let's see what I look like. I did forget the other cam. Let's watch it real quick. Oh, that's funny. Whoops. Well, everyone gets to see my beautiful legs. I don't skip leg day. Hold on, do I have? And I'm wearing sponsored by Hanes. Sponsored by Hanes. I'm gonna have to put that in the highlights. I'll get a ton of rewatches on that one. I'm gonna put that one in the. only 5 years. I'm a professional YouTuber. Oh man. It is Wednesday night here in the House of Sewing, and it's come to that. It's come to showing my nagas on YouTube. Now you know I'm not doing anything funny behind the camera. Oh, good times. Good times. And my belt loop is not cooperating. Oh. Are you kidding me? That's already cut in halfway across Twitter by now. Okay. So now that show's over. For real. Oh, nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. All right, let's see if I can save this dumpster fire with my Jncos. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so first, I have to say this. Life is about practice, practice, practice. I'm not going to sit up here and preach to you, but I've made quite a few pair of Jncos. These are perfect. Let's see if we could make them out. Let me move my camera a little bit. There we go. So I took a pair of pants that actually fits, and I bought something that was comparable size but a little bit bigger. I love how this came out. I absolutely love how this came out. Now that the kids have put the tablet down and come to the house of stripping YouTube channel. Well, you know, need ratings, gotta get ratings somehow. Thank you, Pam, for pointing out that I showed my. Okay, breathe, hands up. Okay. My Jnco pants came out perfect. I'm gonna put my foot up on the sewing machine here, but these are absolutely perfect. You know what? Let me switch my cam. And do this again. There's the pants in question. Oh, good times. But these are close ashtray drawer. We're nothing but classy here in the House of Sewing. These are perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'm going to go through and I'm going to serge the bottoms completely. I'm going to I do not have shoes on. And look, my socks are matching. I just have one on backwards. Mommy, wow, I'm a big kid now. These are perfect. I love how these came out. And there's a ton of people searching Jnco pants on my channel. If anyone watches this in the future, hit me up. I know how to make Jncos. I love wearing these. I'm going to be skating in front of my house doing this tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to call this a victory. And this is another project that, although it's complicated, the pinning is what took forever. The sewing didn't take that long at all. So, just no cheeks. You ruined my 4th of July surprise, Rashawn. You ruined my 4th of July surprise. I just Googled what a serger was. I never knew what you all were talking about. Sergers and I do not get along. If I ever had an arch nemesis, it would be sergers. If there was ever a Dr. Doom or whatever it's called, it would be a serger. Oh, do you know what's so funny? I remembered to exit out last time. I didn't know about him until I started watching Dr. So Little here. Patent pending. I have farm animals and I can fake it that they're talking. Don't challenge me. Oh, I met Raven Simone. She is not. She's on Lenny Kravitz scale. We're going to start calling it the Kravitz scale. Raven Simone on a 0 to Lenny Kravitz. She's like a 9. I thought it was some power supply for sewing machines that regulated electricity. I wish it was. Sergers and I do not get along. It's a bane of my existence, actually. But I say this all the time. There's a difference between your clothes looking professional and your clothes looking junky. And it's a serger. Raven seems like a Kravitz. You know what? When I first met them, they just were extremely Hollywood. And I was shocked because they were at a party of people who were not extremely Hollywood. It was a really hardcore hippie party. And they were kind of like, oh, do you know who I am? And we're like, yes, everybody does. But she didn't shoot. They did not shush me. So here we are. But did Raven Simone did nope. No, they didn't. Oh, man. I would like to thank Pam for this pause because now that both of my screens are paused. Oh, I'm definitely going to go back and put that as a blooper. That might be my next short since I'm obsessed with making shorts now. You know, we need to sit down as a family and talk about that. So... I know that's so Raven. I do not like her. It's a long story. And she almost ran me over in front of a Carl's Jr. on Ventura Boulevard. It's a long, long story. Oh, good times. I need to find my old journal. I'm going to start the Sewing Hollywood Uncensored. Oh. So those pants still need some work, but like I said, when the stream's over, I'm gonna surge it. It'll expedite matter. So tonight we invented the Kravitz scale. Okay, so I know that I've been posting a lot of shorts lately. I'm glad I didn't meet the super people. Before I go off about YouTube shorts, I'll tell you, I have met a lot of famous people. And it's really funny how, except for Lenny Kravitz, everyone I've met who's famous for real is the most polite person you've ever met in your life. It's the wannabes who are rude. But it's like that in any genre. It's like that in any genre. You get a fake biker, they watch too much television, so they're acting out something they saw on television. You get there's wannabe cops. Some guy just recently got arrested for posing as a cop in my town, which I would never know why you'd want to do that. But no matter what you do, there's gonna be snooty people like that, But it's weird how the people who actually have it are not snooty. It's the strangest thing to me. I said this last week. I met Richard Dreyfuss. He's a real human. I met Mr. Cooper. He was the nicest person. I still to this day, I cannot sing the praises enough of Mark Curry. I was this distraught, young, like I was living in a crummy apartment. I didn't know. He was nice to me in a very vulnerable time in my life. Mark Curry was a man. He's a real human. Can't praise that man enough. Met one celeb, Montel Jordan. Seems like a cool dude. He spoke first like we were important while security has taken him to sign autographs. Ironic, considering the bracket. That's so ironic. That's probably why I put for him on the B bracket. Do anytime I hear a Montel Jordan song now, I think of you and Yella now. Anytime. Okay. So I've been posting a million YouTube shorts lately. I just want to say to everybody here, act normal. I'm trying to get more subscribers. It's working. Just act normal. Okay. People are subscribing. People like my shorts. People like me in my garden talking to my grapes like a crazy person. Just act normal. And I know shorts are the destruction of society. My son goes off. He's like, why are you posting shorts? It's destroying the attention span of humanity. They're really easy to make. And sometimes it's easier to make a short. And you know what's funny? More people are watching my short videos than they're watching my regular stuff. It's sad. I have to check them out. I'm not a shorts guy. Exactly. It's so sad though, because I'm getting more views on that. And I work hard. That's one of the reasons I'm so passionate. That's why I'm still here. I care about what I do. I have a very piratey, bohemian, out of the woods kind of way about life. But I absolutely love what I do. And I put love and dedication into what I do. So my videos are a little bit longer, But it's a shame that more people are watching my shorts. That's why I was going off about peace and tranquility, because lately I've been hashtagging peace and tranquility and all this love. These are things I hope to achieve one day. In no way, shape, or form am I claiming that I have achieved nirvana. Let's be real. In no way, shape, or form. So if you see some crazy hashtag from me, I'm hoping to be a peaceful person. I'm hoping to be happy. I want to project love. Even though I'm a rotten, cynical person, I try to put the best foot forward is what I'm trying to say. Shorts are weird to me. 1 minute videos are way too short. I agree. But it's a weird sign of the times. And it's so strange. Every time I post one, I gain a bunch of subscribers. It's gotta feed the weasel. I gotta feed the beast, YouTubing in general is so strange to me. The interface for shorts are why I don't like them. Can't rewind if I miss something. Gotta start over. So true. It's really like the whole shorts concept is just strange to me, though. But I'm going to be posting a lot more shorts because that's what's bringing home the bacon right now. So to all the people I love that watch my lives, that watch my videos, I just have to respectfully ask you to act normal. I've posted a lot of peace and tranquility videos. I've just been And also I go in my backyard seeking peace, seeking that tranquility, and I find it. It's an oasis for me. It's a place to escape the insanity of everyday life. I experience it just like everyone else. I go out of my way to avoid it, but again, like anyone else, I live on earth, so I pay attention to what's going on, you know? So I've been posting a lot of shorts lately. And I wanted to say that to the people. I absolutely love coming out here and streaming. I don't want people to be like, are you going to stop making videos? No. I just bought a camera. I'm ready to go. I have the travel bug. After going to Vegas, something has arisen inside of me like the Undertaker. So I'm ready to travel again. So I am not going to stop making videos. It's just, shorts are they're fun to make. What am I saying? They're easy to make. Freudian slip right there. Oh. Hey, I hit 690. Do you know what? I honestly want to say I appreciate everybody who watches my stuff. I have been streaming for a long time. And if I was a butt snorkeler, if I was one of those people who kissed everyone's feet, I'd probably have a lot more subscribers. But I seriously, sincerely want to thank everybody who subscribed to my channel. Let me screenshot this before someone unsubscribes. I just have to laugh because I didn't think I would ever get here. So I humbly say thank you. Oh, man. That's sweet. It's gone up. Since I joined the stream, absolutely. I was looking for something else, but I just noticed that. I'm actually looking for my phone. Do you know what's so funny? At the second you said Montel Jordan, I now have This Is How We Do It just playing quietly in the background in my head right now. And also, I love gardening, and I really do not talk about it because I don't know. Not too many people are into gardening, And I grow a lot of food in my backyard, so I do hang out there a lot. But I'm gonna try to reduce my I'm so peaceful and tranquil videos. I'm gonna try to, but it's so beautiful to go back there and sow. Oh, I'm laughing at myself because I changed my pants on YouTube, but I've seen worse. I've seen way worse, and I'm all about my business, so I put my pants on fast. Oh, it's been a stream. Tonight has definitely been a stream. I partially want to play the algorithm. To get 1K subs, but I already know none of my content will get ad rev. Same. Do you know, if we were to go through most of my videos, it's copyright. If I ever do get that label, what are they going to monetize? I think and I'm not even saying this to be funny. I have 300 something videos, which is neither here or there. I'm in the ballpark of 300. Okay. I think maybe 4 of them do not have a copyright strike on them. And I remember 5 years ago, somebody who, I don't know if they're streaming anymore or not, but somebody I used to hang out with all the time, she told me, she was like, if you ever want to be anything on YouTube, do not use copyrighted material, because she knew me. And it's 5 years and I've been using copyrighted material this entire time. Because the goal is to get monetized. Truthfully, I'm just here to do this. This is what I want to do. This is what I love to do. I love coming out here, waffling, talking about my cup that's 5 or 6 years old, making Jnco jeans. I can't believe. Oh, I wish Alibaba was here. This white heavy duty actually held up. It's not necessarily a heavy duty machine. It's heavy duty in name only, but it held up. I made a pair of Jnco jeans on here, which destroys sewing machines. So I'm going to give this machine, we're going to start a new scale. I'm going to give this machine 9 bobbins on a 10 bobbin scale. I need to write this down. We have the Kravitz scale and the bobbin scale. Oh, I didn't even think of that. They came for cheeks. I've said this a million times. If I changed my Instagram to a thirst trap channel, I would have millions of subscribers. If I got on there and showed off my hockey legs, I'm just not that kind of person. I am not that kind of person. And you know what? I respect anybody who's that brave. Anyone who is that brave, I respect you. But I'm not that kind of person. Same. Everyone I know that got monetized around 1 to 3K quit streaming. I know the ad rev criteria killed their drive. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I kind of made a weird promise to myself. That's why I still come out here and act goofy. That's why I still make goofy stuff. I made a promise to myself to not turn this into a job, because I don't want to come here hating this. And you know what? Honestly, before my vacation, it was slowly turning into that. And the touch and sew scale, the fancy pizza scale, and the Tesla and the neighborhood scale. So for anyone keeping score, I freshly shaved my head. So that for anyone keeping score, my son and my ex-wife went back to the fancy pizza place. So let's do the math really quick, okay? What you're not going to sport your Daisy Dukes on YouTube. It's not that kind of party, Pam. I'll tell you, one of the reasons I don't, there's a YouTuber that I do not respect. I absolutely do not like this human, but they wore a mankini for subscribers. And I told myself, and this was years ago, I told myself, I said, William, do not ever be that desperate. Don't be that desperate. If people like you, they like you. And if they don't, they're going to unsubscribe. That's just the way it is. But like, there are certain scales I refuse to do that. I refuse to show my nalgas on, well, willingly. I did tonight. I'm going to go back and clip that because it's funny. And I'm wearing Walmart boxes for anyone who wants to judge. Expensive personal pizzas are killing me. Okay. So I want to do the math really quick. My son went back to this place with my ex-wife. And when I say this, I absolutely love my ex-wife's husband. Marquette is my hero. That man should get he should get a statue for putting up with me. I respect Marquette. So in no way, shape, or form am I trying to malign anyone. In any way, shape, or form. With that being said, they went to the expensive pizza place. Judge none. It's the first rule of the Jnco. We have invented like 15 things here tonight. What happens in the Jnco club stays in the Jnco club. So they went back to the fancy pizza place. Let's do quick math. Okay. 4 kids, 2 cousins, brother, and my son. Okay. So that's 4 kids. That's a bill right there. No, I'm sorry. That's $200 right there. Plus 2 adults. That's $300 for pizza. Domino's down the street from my house will deliver for like $15. She spent almost $300 for pizzas last weekend. And it was that pizza when I had major difficulty at one time. They brought me a slice of that pizza. And I'm going to tell you, it was amazing. It was so good that it made me enjoy pineapple on pizza. Still not worth $50. Maybe I'm bougie. And you know what's really funny? I go to a bougie pizza place up the street from my house. It's nowhere near that expensive. In any way, shape, or form is it anywhere near that expensive. I would slap ketchup on toast with a slice of cheese before I spend 50 plus. And they're personal size. They're fairly large, but I could destroy it in one sitting and then I'd be hungry 3 hours later. I'm not kidding you. To each their own. And you know, it makes me wonder because truffles are expensive. Like, are there truffles on this pizza? Are there gold flakes on this pizza? Because of where I live, like, we take food that is considered like basic in other countries. Like in Mexico, tacos and burritos are like whatever, but we idealize those things here. Pho, perfect example. There is a pho craze in Los Angeles of people who obsessively love Vietnamese pho. It's just fancy soup. I hate to bust your bubble. I've had it my whole life. I love it. I'm not going to pay extra money for it. The same with Thai food, the same with Japanese food, Chinese food. We go crazy in America and we put high prices on things because I was raised around Mexican food. I'm offended if it's high priced. There was this one restaurant. I went on my birthday. It was a really fancy Mexican restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. If we had a $400 bill, I will never forget. I'm like, the cheese dip was good, but it wasn't that good. Like, it's crazy to me. I can't remember the name of that place. When we had a large group of people, we had a lot of drinks. So it wasn't like we were just eating tacos. But Skits, would you pay $50 for a personal pizza? And I'm sure, like I said, it was worth it. It was good, but it's still not worth $50. No. My mom calls me Bougetto all the time, and I am Bougetto. I would not spend that much money for something like that at all. At all. But again, I'm not up here to judge. It's just my son came back and he looked at me and he's like, we went to the fancy pizza place again. And something inside of me was like, wow. That's a lot of money for pizza. Is there anything that you are willing to pay that much money for to eat? Would you pay $50 for a steak? Would you pay $50 for a chimichanga? I don't know. I eat like an emancipated 13-year-old, so my choices are very limited. I like the kind of Mexican restaurant where the old lady comes out of the kitchen, pokes you in the stomach, and compliments the amount you eat. Skits, I'm so glad you brought that up. You remind me of a picture I took just the other day, and it was one of those, if your Mexican restaurant does not have this picture, let me go on Twitter real quick. Thank you for reminding me, Skits. Oh, I take a lot of pictures of sewing machines. Where is that picture? There it is. Okay, so keep in mind, I live in Los Angeles, California. LA County is humongous, okay? Let me pull the picture up. If you go to a Mexican restaurant and it does not have some sort of depiction of... Oh, it's so funny. I do not go on Twitter that much anymore, so it's not even in my... my thing. That is so funny. Okay, come on. I know Twitter. I haven't gone on you in a while. I know. My Twitter is like, who are you? Because I rarely open it up on my computer anymore. Okay, so if you go to a Mexican restaurant and it does not have this picture, you need to immediately run. This is the most LA picture you could possibly think of. All I know about Mexican places is the more statues of the Virgin Mary it has, the better the food is. That's facts. Those are facts. Crucifix pepper grinder. There's a line there's a line somewhere between blasphemy and is this in a Mexican restaurant? This is I love these old Aztec paintings. Have a great night, Rashawn. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much. Everybody go check out Critically Drinking. I have a great time watching Rashawn's channel, participating. Rashawn actually has stimulating conversations. I absolutely appreciate it because we need more people like Rashawn. So thank you for stopping by. If your Mexican restaurant does not have this crazy picture, you need to run. I don't know why that Aztec guy is saving. I don't know what he's saving that woman from, but he's taking her to the Mexican restaurant. I don't know why he's saving her or what he's saving her from, but they're going to that restaurant. And you know what the funny thing is? I always had gone there in the parking lot of my son's MMA class. There is not one, but two Mexican restaurants. And this is the one that's in the corner. I've gone to a million times. This one, I hadn't been. I don't think I've ever been there, but it's been in my town so long. I'm sure I've walked in once or twice. The food was amazing. They took a long time, and I started getting impatient. It was amazing. Everything. Their beans were so authentic. I forgot what real food tasted like. Their rice was made the right way. It was just Mexican food. Then going to get some horchatas. I'm not the biggest rice milk fan. It's not necessarily something I love. All right, I'm gonna try to exist without my nanny cam. I think that's so funny. It's so hot in here that I can't have my all my cams going. That is so funny. And for anyone wondering, yes, this is a Hulk Hogan shirt. This is a misprint, and he is not as big as he should be. Never had horchata, never will. Okay. So it's no secret. I grew up in LA. I'll eat almost anything. I never liked the texture. When my son tells me, and my son has autism, and I give him more leeway than I would any other human, but like he'll tell me, like, I don't like the texture of something. I know what he's talking about. When I was a kid, I never liked horchata. I never liked it. And there's people like Skits that I know, and people around me that drink. There's people I work with that drink it every day. I think it's the nastiest thing on earth. But it's a cultural thing too. And the funny thing is, I grew up in and around that culture, and I still do not participate in horchata. It's rice milk. Ugh. And they have every flavor you could possibly think of here. We even have people who they're called huegos. It's just juice. And for anyone who speaks Spanish, I do slur my words. So games and juice, they do sound very much alike. Juego is juice. Juegos is games, but we'll have a Spanish talk a different day. But I absolutely love the juices because really it's just a bunch of sugar with like watermelon, mango. They get everything they can and just shove it in a container and put ice on top. Oh gosh, now I'm craving stuff. The other day we were talking about the boleta man, the guy that walks around with the corn. And now we're talking about the horchata, guys. The natural juice is good. I'm just not into the rice milk. But again, it's bad for my lungs, so it's just not something I participate in. Look at you, Skits. All Californian, drinking horchata. You go to a lot of places, they don't even know what that stuff is. It was weird to me when I traveled to not see that stuff on the menu or just on the drink menu somewhere. But tonight was definitely a victory. I finished my Jncos and I have a tutorial ready. My last tutorial got erased because something wonky happened with my external hard drive. So I am guarding my tutorial like it's a state secret or something. Oh man, I've been going for 2 hours, 24 minutes. I didn't even think I would go this long tonight. I've been trying to make my streams a little bit more watchable because people have been watching them in the remake, in the rewatch. Good grief. Rice milk and stuttering, it's time to go. But I will be back at it on Saturday. In all sincerity, I thank everybody who has stuck with me after all this time. I'm getting a little nostalgic because I looked it up and I'm coming up on my 5-year anniversary of being on YouTube, and it's been a roller coaster. But you know, I absolutely love what I do. I have a great time, and you know, you'll never be able to stop the sewing. So I want to thank everybody. Thank you so much, Pam, Skits, Kilroy, Rashawn, everybody who came by tonight. I'll be back at it again on Wednesday. Alibaba, enjoy. You were missed. Nightmare Baby, welcome back. Brandon, you are always welcome here. I'm gonna send you a link next week. I'll send you a link. You can join on Saturday. Stammer, stutter. But thank you so much. I'll be back at it on Saturday. Jncos look great. I'm going to act crazy in the video as always. Like I said, I'm going to be posting a lot of shorts. Act normal. See you guys on Saturday. Like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time. Bye.